around the world. One of the ways that we are stimulating young people to show off their skills and have opportunities is what we call the Imagine Cup. This is a yearly student programming contest. It's getting bigger every year. This is going to be our sixth year. We have many categories. We tend to emphasize things like software and health, or software and the environment, software and government. We've had many different themes over the years, and to see what this next generation can come up with and really stimulate them. This year we'll have 185,000 students from 100 countries who will participate. And actually, one of the very strongest regions is Latin America, with over 75,000 of those participants, so a little bit over a third. I have to admit, almost apologize, when I heard that number, I said, could you double check that? And they said, yes, absolutely. You know, the level of enthusiasm and interest is very strong there, and so it's really terrific. Actually, Brazil is the biggest part of that, and so it's challenging our groups in other countries to even drive their numbers up a little bit more. Now, when somebody is a winner, one of the finalists in the different categories, they get to go to the worldwide finals that are held different places around the year. And if they do well, then we give them the opportunity to learn from us about, you know, perhaps how they might be entrepreneurs and do new things. And there's a group, Ivan Cardam and Madsen Menez and Carlos Rodriguez were students at the Pernambuco Federal University when they were one of the top two in the 2006 thing. And they did what's called Virtual Eye. And it's kind of an amazing system that can help people who are blind find their way around by using computer information, and actually a very innovative wristband that they put together. So we've got a little video that gives you a sense of this, and then after that we'll show it to you in person. So let's take a look at the video.
I lost my eyesight about 3 years ago because of diabetes. When it first happened, I was very depressed and rarely left my house.
All around Brazil, it is very difficult to get around on the streets. Very often I need to ask people for help finding a place or finding a building.
The biggest challenge is going out to the markets. I cannot go more than a few blocks from my home without the assistance of a friend. And I feel like I have lost all of my independence.
3 Brazilian students, Ivan Cardim, Carlos Rodrigues, and Madsen Menez, decided to design a system that would help the visually impaired better navigate in a world designed for sighted people. Their solution, Virtual Eye, combines the power of Microsoft Virtual Earth, GPS, and Bluetooth technology, working with a Windows mobile cell phone. The phone sends signals to wristbands that vibrate to provide turn-by-turn directions.
I think Virtual Eye is a very promising technology for the visually impaired. I'm surprised and happy to see young people in Brazil working to help the blind. Thank you.
Well, we're very fortunate that the students made a special trip up here to show us their work and give us an update. And I'd like to invite them on stage to discuss their Imagine Cup experience and to show the project to us. So let's welcome Ivan, Madsen, and Carlos. Hi. Good to see you.
Hello, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here. I'm actually kind of excited. So we're 3 former students from Universidade Federal de Pernambuco, Recife, Brazil, and we're here to talk to you about our project, our solution called Virtual Eye, which is, as Bill mentioned, a navigation system for visually impaired people. So this solution started back in 2006 as part of the Imagine Cup when we were asked to build a solution that solved a problem related to health. So at that same point in time, my grandfather started losing his eyesight. So as I watched him struggle, our solution was born. And this solution won the national edition of the Imagine Cup and got second place in the worldwide finals in India. So after the competition was over, we were invited by Microsoft to take part in the Innovation Accelerator workshop, an intensive program targeted at teaching us how to take what we had and market it. So for 2 weeks, we sat together with a bunch of MBAs, software architects, and very experienced businessmen as we learned to better address customer needs and created a solid business model. So after we got back to Brazil, we decided it was finally time to do something real about it. So we wrote a funding proposal for the Brazilian government, and we were awarded funding in the amount of $500,000. Right now, we are starting our company and looking for commercial partners so we can take what we have now and turn it into a reality. It's really amazing, like this all that happened, and it really amazes me that so much has happened in so little time. But it is an immeasurable pleasure for us to be able to be here and tell you guys how this all happened, because so you can see that all it takes is an idea and the right opportunity, like the Imagine Cup was for us, to turn an idea, a dream, into a reality. But enough talk. Let's take a look at how the project works with Madsen and Carlos, if you would.
Okay, thanks, Ivan. Now, before we check out, I'd like to tell you something. The people that we saw in the video, they are real. We've been working with several visually impaired organizations down there in our city and all around Brazil, and we see and we know that we are truly accomplishing the results that the real users are asking for us. We are using technology to solve problems from real users. Okay? We are all set?
Yeah.
Okay, Bill, you have to help me here to create a scenario, okay? Let's believe that we are a blind person and we are outside this building and you start to feel a headache, okay? You probably think something like, oh, I have to find a pharmacy to buy some medicine to deal with that. But you don't know the place. So we're going to use Virtual Eye to guide you to this pharmacy. Just like you just need to get your cell phone, like this one Carlos is showing. Yeah. And using your voice, you're going to ask for directions to this pharmacy. And using this information and using your current position, get data from GPS, you're going to create a route and going to guide you through these vibration wristbands, just the way Carlos will show now. Okay?
Okay. So you're in front of the hotel, right? You need to get to the pharmacy. So after the route is created, it's sent back to the phone, and Virtual Eye will start guiding you there. So imagine that in your way to the pharmacy, your first step is going forward. So both wristbands would vibrate like they're doing right now.
Great.
Okay, I guess you can actually put them next to your mic so that people... Yeah, that's basically it. It looks like cell phone vibration. And that's the idea. So, and next, you reach a corner and you have to make a left, for example. And then they would vibrate like this. The left one would vibrate. Yeah. Okay. So, imagine you reach another corner and you have to make a right. Then the right one would vibrate in a similar way. Yeah, that's right. So, and then eventually you find your destination, and when you get there, both of them will vibrate alternately. Yeah, you're just...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it. It may look simple, but actually that's exactly what visually impaired people have asked us for. They have a very good idea of what's happening around them. They just want the guidance. And with these simple commands, we can guide anyone, anywhere.
Now, what technology helped you pull this together?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, we put a lot of technology inside this prototype. Here we have Microsoft .NET framework to build the application, and it runs here in a Windows mobile device. And then we have Microsoft Virtual Earth for the mapping and the route creation. And we use the Speech SDK for speech recognition. And finally, Bluetooth to make the communication between the mobile device and the wristbands.
Fantastic. Well, it's an amazing project, and I'm glad to hear you're making progress. But you know, it's a great example of young people taking on a tough challenge and using software in a great way.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
I'll give you back these.
Yeah, let me help you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.